Good day, everybody. Welcome to another B video. Today we're going to go into the little end SMP and we're going to do some work. Now I have been doing some work recently, building up some areas. So in my one video that I did post recently, I did show some footage where I was just working on stuff. So today we're really going to go and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that we're trying to kind of achieve when we're working with this. Now, one of the recent updates we have on here is cars. So, one of the ones I did, unfortunately, last night was a car dealership, which I'll show you in a few moments. We're going to probably build something else that kind of would be handy for when you're coming into the room and stuff like that. So, once we get this in, we will discuss more about what we could possibly do next. Just one quick second. And come on. There we go. And see, and here's our dealers. So we got all these beautiful baby cars here. We got Tesla. That's what it's called, Tesla. A whole bunch of stuff. Like, yeah, I know. Don't ask why I clipped it in the wall. I don't know. I put it down and just clipped it in the wall. So, and it's easy to remove them and put them back in, but they do require gasoline to do. And we also get. I don't know. I haven't even named this guy. I don't know. I was going to say Nemo, but I don't know. Alright, anyway. So some of the projects I did was this. This is like a giant chair. Sorry. That's a giant chair, as you can see. And it's got like a little chair shop in the bottom. There you go. And we also got this plant. Don't ask why, but there's a zombie just actually chilling out on this thing. I don't know why. Yo, dude, out. Haha. I actually thought this was actually kind of cool too. I also made a gigantic lamp, which I put another couple of cars in it. Now these ones are filled, so everything else. But I did put the police cars, so hopefully to turn like people from stealing anything. Now you can ride them if you want, but please put them back when you're done. All right, I gotta get rid of this guy. Come on, come on. Alright, that's fine. There. Now to achieve the coffee cup, which is this here, it's supposed to be like a little coffee shop in that, which is kind of the reason why it does. And I actually just put a bunch of like fires on top. But when you're in, you're not going to be flying. But when you're looking at it, it does look like there's a nice hot cup of Joe sitting there in the middle of everything. And I also got this, and this is the lobster pit. Worked really hard on it, and it also has, of course, it's a hermit crab, but it was later pointed out by Agency Minecraft. But it's still, I called it the lobster pit, and it has like the back and everything else. Now, I haven't figured anything for this part here. Is it's going to be one of the few things, and maybe a mega mall, maybe something left. I don't know. Now, we're developing this area whole slowly because, like, we're going to eventually put more rows. As you can see, there's connections and stuff like that. So for now, we got all this area here. And this goes pretty far away, so, like, you know, I don't need to worry about this for a while. I really like to know how far he pushed this one. Alright, I guess goes, okay, we're up to here. Alright. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, there's like the boardwalk. That leads off to other things. Alright. So, there's lots of building potentials here. So one of the main focus of some of my builds lately has been like doing it by design. Of course, you could see like he had like the rocking chair for rockers and stuff like that. And I got like a gigantic lamp, which actually looks like an actual lamp because it's got like the little cord. So I don't know how it's powered if it's not plugged in. I don't know. Never thought about that when I did it. I was just kind of doing. But like I said, this looks like a gigantic chair. So like you actually could, if you could, make it up here. It's like comfortable and everything else. It's just wool. I wonder who lives here. The giant of wool. There you go. So anyway, we're not going to build in these areas, like I said, but we are going to focus on these other plots. Now, there's, well, 4 and 4, and it kind of goes all the way through. And I don't know why we had so many of these guys spawning in. Like, yeah. Skeleton horses. I heard lightning strike one day, and then after that we had a bunch of these guys kind of like sitting there doing their own thing, so I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway. So I'm kind of theming it out. So one, potted plants. I mean, it makes sense. Like, you would want to have a place where you could buy, fresh plants and stuff like that. Now, I don't know what I should make. We do have armor shops, stuff like that. I'm just thinking of stuff that would be kind of like, not common, I guess I could say. Now, not a lot of these have, like, if I were to make more room, like this way I put this one with a bit of like a, kind of like a parking lot thing. Because like it kind of fills up the space and stuff like that. Okay, I don't wonder what that is. But like for here, if I were to put in our shop, I don't know what I would put here. So I was thinking of a lot of different things, but I just don't want to build another like light shop or whatever. I have no way to. I guess I could make some type of something that looks like a TV. Make that another one, I guess. That would be kind of cool. But this is an old town here that I built a long time ago. And, yeah, this has been, well, probably well over, like, 2 years now. Some of them are just, like, kind of, like, everything. But there is a bit of space over here, too. Or I guess you kind of continue over here. All right. And I showed that one in my one video. Explained it very briefly. So there's lots of things, and this is kind of a little bit of a newer one right here. So we're trying to kind of blend it all the way through to the other side. And also too, it has like, I don't know if this one has the, okay, this is an apartment here. Where's the fire department? Another one, I think this one had a fire department, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. That's a bowl with supposed to be chopsticks in it. It was supposed to be a Chinese restaurant. And it kind of went offbeat, and so it kind of looks like it's a 10i, like a TV thing. Now, a lot of these also have no floors, because when you're transferring from one place to another, depending if you leave it like high enough, then basically it takes, Okay, oh, here we go. Here's the hospital. And I think the fire department wasn't very far off from that, but yeah, you get the idea. And so, there's lots of stuff that we have in here. That's new, that's a gas station. Here's the car one I told you we were just in that. So it's easy to kind of get run around when you're kind of like, checking through and all that stuff, so it's kind of a few things. But going back to, I can't remember where I'm going over here. All right. Now, some plots are a little bit bigger than others. It would have to be something that we would have to think about and kind of like maybe decide on what we're going to add in. I could probably do another maybe tool shop or something. That would be kind of another way to fill up some of the spacing here. That way we can have it and maybe put some like a pickaxe or something. But we do have one, I think, over there somewhere. I mean, what do we usually get in like normally in a sort of like a city kind of setting? Hardware stores, pharmacies. I don't know what I would really use. Well, I mean, yeah, I can see that. Because you could use potions as medicine, like make it look like medicine, right? So you just take a bunch of one bottle and just kind of rename them all the same thing, and then you could put like anything you want That's another way we could work around this as well. Anyway, I've done a bed shop before. Maybe do another furniture shop, because one of the things I did a long time ago was like a furniture shop, but this would be weirdly small. I have a bit more space here. Don't you even think about it. Now I don't want to interfere with somebody's build here, but I just don't know what they're planning this to be. Yeah, there is stuff in here, as you can see. I don't know, like, it's not much in there. I could maybe give him some, like, starter stuff or whatever, but nobody marked what it was, right? Because if I did, I want to give him some space. I would probably start, see, I'm just going to use a ball right about there. What? Because then it gives them, like, space to add, like, a roof for their house or whatever they're planning to do. And whoever's it is, I might just give them a bit of a starter kind of kit in order to fill up these chests with some goodies and stuff like that. That way they can, like, get started with, like, building their home. Maybe that's the reason why they haven't done much. Sometimes we get people to come in, like, very briefly, but struggle to have, like, getting stuff, met by, going out and you have to do mining and whatever and whatnot and stuff like that. I might even also give them a couple good set of tools and stuff like that. Now, if we were to do maybe two, I could put it over here, maybe, because it's still got space, but I would cut this here so this area could be the tools and stuff like that, because I wouldn't want to have too many roads kind of like laying that way and that. You kind of like keep a few bits of woods and stuff. As I've been going around, I've been kind of just like planting trees and stuff like that, just to kind of get everything to. So we're just gonna put some of this stuff away. Now I was working with some of this stuff, so don't mind me here. What do I want to do for trees? Well, I mean, we do got a lot of pretty trees and stuff like that, so I'm gonna probably do some of this. I'm gonna do some of these. This, maybe this, and this. I don't want to cover. Where am I? Oh, cover up the path. Now, the reason for the path was originally it's heading over that way, right? But I'm gonna make it feel like this little spot right here, sort of, will be like a park kind of thing. Because if we don't have a lot of like trees, then like not too many things are gonna come and they're gonna enjoy it. So we're gonna just go and plant a few. We'll reel them out. They did get some very unique kind of ones here. And we're just gonna remove that. That one's pretty. Okay, I guess some trees you can't do anything with it. There you go. Those ones you could kind of cluster because they do work with each other. And we're just going to put a few more in. There you go. Something must have just pretty soon they just died in here because I could just got some XP from something. I don't really I need anything like right now because I am in creative, so I don't really need any of that stuff right now. But I want to kind of preserve what used to be here. Now, what used to be here was basically like a mountain and stuff like that. I don't know if I have any of the original clips from this area when I was actually, working just over here and stuff like that. But there was a lot of things like mountains and trees and stuff. So that's why I'm trying to get these plantings done. Because I want to just keep that original feel to a point. That's okay. and everything else. And also too, it keeps the animals up into, because then you get things like, you know, dogs and wolves and stuff like that. Okay, that one's not gonna. All right. Also, maybe means that the zombies and I have like more of a spot to kind of like spawn. But you know what? I could just put up a few more. I actually, what I did to kind of stop most of the problems was I actually put a bunch of iron golems, which I might have to do again. That's not died, but then he kind of wandered off for some reason. Go figure that one. Don't mind me. I don't know why I am so itchy this morning. I am dry. I'm going crazy right now with the itchiness. All right. It's pretty. So you kind of keep that path. I could even put so much as like another tree, like over here, there. There you go. There you go. Oh, that's nice. I would still kind of like bone meal most of that. Sometimes a few things about flying. Sometimes you're not close enough to the ground. But I also like the way it feels and stuff like that. I always make sure that there's always a little bit of something, because now see there's chickens spawning in again. That's nice. So most of the mobs will probably stay over there and do their own thing and that. So now we got that underway. We're going to go over here and we're going to change the grass. Now, I know, I think Agency Minecraft wanted to put more roads in this section and that. But I'm going to build in that section. So what we're going to do is cut right here. Sorry, see if you're seeing this. I'm going to put a bit of a large shelf, so I need this section. I've also done things like malls and that before. Another thing I was thinking we could also make later on is a movie theater. Now it doesn't have any functional TV thing, but that's fine. We would have to kind of like work with it and basically do that. There we go. There, so it keeps his nice aesthetic look going, but just curved. There we go. So now that we got our section that we're going to get, we got to decide on blocks. So I would go with something that kind of start your basing, and I've been doing a lot now is the stone bricks and stuff like that. So that's pretty good. As I was saying, is some kind of color that you want to work with. Now, this is all the furniture we do have right now, Craig. We have double shades, stuff like that. We got like multiple types of bookcases, and we also got a bunch of like banners and stuff like that. So I mean, that's going to really help out. We also got things like paths as well. So like we got stone paths, wooden paths, brick paths. So I mean, you could choose any of those things. What's that? A woven divider. Okay, that's cool. And then we also got like buckets full of stuff, and there's all the different types of dividers and stuff like that. We also got things like hammocks now. That may be more of like a personal touch. You can find these, of course, in game here on the land, and they will we can actually give you something if you really absolutely do need it, as long as it's nothing overpowered. Going back, what would we want to make this shop? Should I go terracotta? Because I do like to like gray terracottas. And I do also like the cyan terracottas. They're just two kind of neutral, nice colors, and I do like some of the stuff. Now, I think we'll start... Okay, where should we start? Right here. I'm just going to make sure. Okay, there we go. Yeah. And then we're just going to build out a large square. This is where the room would have been more of like an essential thing. Because if I did anything like smaller than this, I would not be able to achieve anything. So this will be kind of like a multitask kind of thing. Now we probably might eventually like remove this part here. We just haven't done anything like that yet. I have to still kind of do some of the work here. But the more work that we get done, the more like expanding and stuff like that we can get done. Still got a few days left doing stuff in creative, so we're gonna make sure we try to get as many creations done as possible. I think I'll stick right here. Yeah, that should be enough. I don't want to make it too gigantic sized. Because we're gonna make this a sort of a multifunctional thing. Okay, this is a little too high. So we're gonna go back. Just put it in there for now. That's good. Yeah, that'd be better. Oh, wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're gonna have to. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Now we're getting to the point. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There. We'll leave it like that. There. Have something like that. The other thing is, one will have to be sacrificed a little longer out because it's going to bother me. Yeah, alright. I know it's going to bug me in the end, but at least this way it does still look pretty good. So this will be like the base of our outline. I'm not going to make it like multi-floor or anything. We don't want to go that far into it. I think what we'll also be doing... Why is the horse eating if he's dead? Kind of what am I going to put for the floor? I think a dark oak. I mean, kind of keep something that's relatively simple. You hear him grunting and groaning over there. Maybe he's just upset he can't eat. I don't know. I'm just having a bit of like one of those mornings where you just kind of like you start to get really into you want to build something, and in the end you're like butterfingering everything. So alrighty, let's get this all in. Now I could have used commands. I don't got that. Even though I am kind of like an agent on here. We do sometimes put the world builder on here, which would have made it a little bit easier, but unfortunately that's not on currently. We usually only off and on when we're building like extra roads and stuff like that. No sheep. Bad sheep. Bad sheep. Yelling at mobs now. Okay. And we're just going to continue this floor out, and we're going to make sure that that's in. Now, depending how high you want to make your build, if you're doing this like in a survival situation, you're going to have a lot of prepping to do beforehand. Most creations will take between, like I say, something of this size, and depending on the height, you're going to need at least 12 stacks of everything. I learned that the hard way when I was doing it in survival, and I made a few of the businesses in that town over there. I learned that, yeah, if you don't have enough of anything, you're just going to be kind of like stuck. So I was making multiple trips, like I guess a day, back and forth, stuff like that. So, yeah, just be prepared because you're going to be stuck if you're not putting up everything, and the evening comes around, then kind of got like mob issues and stuff like that. All right. I can build fast. Actually, it was so funny that the first day when I got back creative and stuff like that, Agency Micro was so surprised on how much I actually had gotten done in basically one day. I'm not trying to impress. I'm just, when I get into building, and I really love like doing what I do, the thing is, like, the work seems to go a lot faster. I do that in a lot of my worlds and stuff like that too. I am posting some more fresh videos of some stuff, and I should be getting some more jewelry videos made soon as well, because I know some people do like watching them off and on. And I'm trying to get some more, and I'm also getting some new stuff as well. That should be in very soon, so they can kind of do a few more things. Again, for some of my artwork for beading, I do get, like I say, a lot of my stuff on Temu. So my suggestion is start there. Get basic starter kits just to start some of those projects and stuff like that. Or if you have a place in town that sells stuff relatively cheap, I would say start there as well. Fortunately, in our city, even though we are a big city, there's not very many like craft shops like that. We got like a Michael's, but I would have to say they're too pricey for my taste. So, like, I've been getting it off of Temu, and they've been actually really fantastic. So that's good. Anyway, how do I get this done? I would change the nighttime, but the only thing is I don't have the option for that power to get it changed and stuff like that. I could easily just sleep it through. But I'm not having no issues seeing. Like, I'm pretty good, so let's get this. There it is. And I keep a lot of these videos relatively as short as I can. So even if in this video we get mostly like the base and that done, go ride him. Yeah, he's your friend. Come on. I'm working with the skeleton now. Okay. It's not very often anymore you'll see like the skeleton. What? He's just looking at me like he wants to say something or do something, but he just sits there and does nothing. Yeah, go down there. Yeah, thank you. You ponder about your life. Well, whatever life you do technically have. Enjoy. Again. I wonder what the lore between like having skeletons wandering around is like, is it like a Walking Dead type of theory that they're technically players long past, and some have taken up like jobs in the afterlife just to kind of like bother the living? I don't know what that is. I don't know why they even bothered with skeletons in long term. Just as the theory that the pig was originally the starting body of a creeper. Okay. Yeah. It was. They were coding a pig by mistake. It made it stand up, and it turned into a creeper in the long term without arms. Okay. The only thing is they could be very annoying. I could tell you this now. I've done so many builds only to have it destroyed by like charged creepers or just general them coming up behind you while you're working, and then boom, you're like taken out, and you have to respawn, and you have to go back, and you have to fix your stuff. only to have it happen again. I had that so many times. Usually when that happens to me too much, I usually just log off. And I just like, I have to decompress because I get so angry. So I just go and I watch some cute kitty videos, and then I'm usually pretty good. And I usually come back in if I can and just finish up what I was doing. Anyway. So, this, like I said, is going to be a bit of a project for me. In the meantime, I'm going to probably be doing some more other type builds, much like you saw there, like the lamp and the chair and stuff like that. I might make one like a table, maybe one with like a kind of like a crafting kind of block or something like that, where they could sell like, well, believe it or not, crafting tables and stuff like that. That would be something I'd probably do. That way I don't have to keep thinking of which ones I'm going to do. I just do the ones that I know that I can get done. So that would help out. Anyway. Oh man. I know that I could easily get myself a efficiency 5 shovel, but this morning I feel too lazy to want to do it, and I don't know. Usually most times, like when I'm building, I will like give myself like some better tools, that way I don't have to, right? Because it would go way faster, but then sometimes some people say that they like to hear my stories, so then I do it this way so I can have more time and do that. Usually when I'm building alone, I'll do it because most times, like, I come on early, really early, and then I like leave kind of relatively late for some people. So that's where I end up having a lot of times where I come and nobody's on or whatever. Very few times, like, we do have like people randomly. It depends on your time zone and stuff like that. That I can understand, because a lot of people are like, it's almost like 1 a.m., 4 a.m., stuff like that. Some are 3 hours, some are 5 hours, some are even like 9 hours ahead or back or something like that. So it's very tricky to know when everybody is going to be on. And it's cool though, but usually when you want to like build with a buddy or something like that, that's where things kind of go into that. Alrighty. Once we get this set out, we can call this one finished for today, but I will do some more videos, post them shortly, and kind of get some more of these builds and build up. And at the same time, kind of showcase some of them as I go along. When I'm building them like off camera and stuff like that. So that'll help out as well. Alright. Another thing I thought about picking up is actually a controller for my phone. So like it would probably make some of these things even a little bit faster. That might be a thought I'll have to do in like the future and stuff like that. So it might take me a little bit to find one that I might want to get. Some are better than others. I don't want nothing that's going to cause me lag. And I don't want nothing that is like too cheap that, you know, it affect any kind of like gameplay and stuff like that. I've been looking around. I think Temu's has a few of them, like for like something like $12-14. Basically what it is it takes like buttons, it places it over your screen. So like if you have a lot of problems with overheating when you're using your phone and stuff like that, it kind of stops it. So like it still works, but you're not actually touching the phone screen and causing it to have more heat, because sometimes that also affects game performance and stuff like that. And that also makes a big issue and stuff. So anyway, going good. We're just going to finish this off. Let's do this. I might try to drive myself today to do about several builds, and kind of like really kind of get a lot of these all done. How long is it going to take? I don't know. And I'm done. There we go. Not quite. There. Somebody eventually would have pointed out, like, you missed a bunch of spots. Okay, well, it's done now. So that's the start of our race. So by the time I get to the next video on this one, it will actually show the final kind of completion, and we'll get that done all in that video instead of like breaking it up into 2-minute videos and stuff like that. Anyways, thank you all for joining me. Hope you all have yourselves a great B-day.